Alejandro, thank you. That message is what we call short and sweet. It's amazing. You can take one small thing from a portion and make a whole message out from it. There's so many messages in each of the portions that are just so beautiful. One of the things that I was thinking about was even this morning, how often I get so busy with things that I'm not sure I'm really taking the time to hear his voice. You know, it's one thing to think about the people who stood at the base of Mount Sinai and heard a booming voice from the heavens, but we don't have that today. But there's so many other ways that we can hear God's voice, and most people don't think about that. And I was thinking about how how do we really hear it? You know, sometimes Miriam and I will take a walk and we love nature and we'll look at a flower. Miriam calls it, what do you call it? Flower flesh. Or we'll see the animals, we'll see the so many things around us. And that's one way of God speaking to us, of saying, look at what I've given to you. Look at all the things that I've provided for you to just enjoy life. Because he wants us to enjoy his creation, his life. And then I thought of the times that he turns his face from us. You know, the Aaronic benediction that we end with, and how he wants him to turn his face toward us. Whenever we are disobedient in some way, he says he'll turn his face away from us. And that's when we need to remember that God is a God of beginning again, and all we need to do is teshuvah, to turn back, and he always allows us to begin again, and he'll turn his face back toward us again. And that's the wonderful part of knowing this, that this is the Creator. There are many people who make up their own gods, and they think that there are all these paths lead to one place, but they don't. The God of the Torah, the God of Israel, is the only way. And our job is to listen to his voice and to obey him. You know, when we say to our kids, listen to me, we mean obey. And that's what God wants from us, is to be obedient to him. Thank you again, Mauricio, Alejandro. Beautiful message.
And
Yeah, thank you.
the parasha, excuse me, Miriam, sorry,
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
just a little thing.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
When the parasha is called Re, is observe, observe or look.
See?
Yeah, see. In that need the sounds, no, the sounds of sight. We need the sounds of hear to listen or to hear.
Yes.
And that's word about when we to serve God, we need all our sense, we need all our body, we need all our being. Like say the the Shema we recite every Shabbat or every day. Love your God with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your heart, and that is necessary to serve God. And like I say, God speak in many ways. Always, all the through all generation, all through all time, in many ways. That is, like you say, like I explained a little bit about the sounds for hearing, like the sounds came from the environment and going and inside us by the like you do the hear, and after you, if you can personalize this sound that came from nowhere, from everywhere, and you take for you. That is the boy of God. God speak to all body, but everyone takes from him himself or from itself for our ourselves like is for me only. And we, after that, we can apply the word of God.
And it's interesting because when we lose one of our senses, God increases one of the others. It seems somehow if you lose your sight, it's almost like your hearing is increased, and we have that inner sense also. God speaks to us from within, even when our senses are not always the best that they can be. There are ways that we can hear Him that are so powerful. He says, we have eyes, but we cannot see. We have ears, but we cannot hear. That's why without Him, without His awareness, the awareness that He exists and that He's working in and through us, our senses don't have the same value for us. Miriam, you were going to say?
Well, a couple of things, but one thing about God speaking to each one of us. Sometimes, in a childish way, some people will say, well, how could He speak to so many of us? How could He speak to each one of us individually? But God exists in eternity. He's an eternal God. And C.S. Lewis had said that, when we pray or when we talk to God or have a communication with God, it's with each one. He is with each one of us alone in a very personal way, because God has all eternity. He's speaking to us, and it's individual, but we exist in a community. But God talks, like you said, but God talks to each one of us personally and individually and right to the heart. And He has all eternity to do so, because He's a timeless. He doesn't exist in our time frame, which is sort of it's not the true time. Our time is really eternal. I forget what else I was going to say. Oh yeah, just, simple thing. God is with us all the time, and He's always relating. He's always talking to us, whatever. But sometimes, it's so hard to live in the moment like that. When I was going through the worst of this past year, there were times that the most scary thing was that I would be stuck in that state. And it was so scary sometimes. It was overpowering. And, I didn't really trust. The trust is really an experience. It's a thing that's progressive. But it was so hard to trust that God was with me and that I would come out of this. But God really is with us all the time. Anyway, thank you for the message. It was good.
It's also interesting how our senses are connected. I remember when my eyes, before I had cataract surgery, my eyes were very bad. And before I could pick up the phone, I would have to put my glasses on. I couldn't hear if I couldn't see well. And now, when I was singing for the elderly and I prayed that God would help me because the smell would be so bad, I asked Him, and He literally took my sense of smell away, but now I can't taste. So all the senses are interconnected. So it's that's just a little aside. So Mauricio, you're without water for 3 days. See, I'm glad I can't smell you.
No, but that doesn't mean that I'm not taking a bath. Okay. Okay. No, really, we have a problem because well, I was thinking about all the blessings when and it's true to have water is a blessing.
Yes.
In the Torah, and it's something that we cannot live without water.
And we take for granted.
Yeah, we take for granted, and it's a problem. But thanks God, because this is the kind of things that sometimes we usually say, oh, why this happened to me? But at the same moment, in this trial, I can see that we have a family. And this is really good, to see the blessings in the middle of the problems. because, well, my neighbor is my father-in-law, and he's an engineer. So what he make is to connect water from his house to my house.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we have water because he's giving us water. So you can see that there is a blessing in the middle of the problem, right? Right now, we are waiting for the government to answer us, which in Latin America is very common, to wait a lot of time to be resolve all these problems. Okay,
What is
we
the
reported,
water? What does the water not have to do with the government? It's
yeah,
not a.
because there is a company which is national, is from the government, and they provide water for the country. So you have to call to this office of the government, and yeah, they have WhatsApp, they have a call center, everything. But yeah, you don't need to have a number that you are reporting. This is your reporting number. You need that the problem be fixed. Okay, so
Is it your whole area or only your house?
only my house. Okay,
So how is it the government? Aren't there plumbers to come and
yeah, they have plumbers, and they come to your house, and they start to check, because okay, obviously, there is I don't know how to say that, but it's like a counter of how many gallons of water you are consuming. In that way, they make you a bill. Okay, so from the water that comes from the road or from the outside of your house, okay, from the line of the government to your house, and then they put this it is like a contador, is,
a
you know
counter?
a counter, yeah. And then uh, your connection from your house goes to this counter, and then they can see how much you are consuming by month.
Oh, like a
Okay,
meter.
yeah, like a meter.
Okay.
Okay, so from this counter to your house, you can handle, you can repair it. Okay, but the problem is not in my house. The problem is from the line that goes from the counter to the line of the government,
Oh,
okay, that provide water. So something is between my line, and from my tube uh, to his connection. So the problem is the connection of the water of the government. And today, my neighbor next to my house, not my father-in-law, the other one, today they told me, "Oh, today we don't have water."
oh,
And you can see the rest of the houses, they have water. So something is happening. And also today I saw that from one part of the entrance of the neighborhood, there is water flowing up to the street.
oh.
So so they have to fix. But I am calling every day. Hey, I have 3 kids. We don't have water. We need to have water. Please come check everything. Um, but they are so busy, and it's very frustrating when they tell you, "Oh, right now we are make you this report. They're gonna go as soon as possible." But when you say, "Okay, how much time does it mean as soon as possible?" They say, "Oh, we don't have any answer about it because we don't know. We are government. They don't want to tell you." Okay. Uh, but from the bill, they are very on time. So,
Yeah.
uh, but thanks God, my father-in-law is giving us water, so he's a blessing. And we have, uh, you know um, in the middle of this, I have seen that God is protecting and providing us right now, water. So, but but I was talking today with a person in the call center, and it takes a lot of time to attend you, and so that's why I connected a little bit late, because they tell me you need to send videos and photos and
Oh,
you know, and it's like, what can do? Okay, so uh, but also what we are doing is to to catch some water from the raining, because we have some recipients, and when rains we feel that this water. So uh, but it's it's how our governments uh, takes time to solve these problems.
that's the problem when you have government versus private enterprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, they want to they have to make this company private. But the problem in Latin America is when they have a private company, they don't have no one to respond in case of disasters or whatever,
Oh,
and only the cost goes and rise up. That happened, for example, with electricity. That happened with communications. That, yeah. Prior, for example,
it happens because of
prior,
greed.
yeah,
It's greed.
yeah, prior you pay $1, for example, then you have to pay $5. Eh, So and you see the service, yeah, they have better offices, they have a better salaries, but at the end the service is not the better, it's not the best.
Right.
And the point that they, well, in our countries, unfortunately, people buys the senators in order to make these deals with these
Right.
companies, and they do not uh, see if the service is improving or not.
Right.
So in the case of water, for me, it's better to have a national company, because at least you are, you know, that you consume, or they give you some potable water, you say.
Drinkable.
Yeah, drinkable water. Yeah. So uh, and if not, we don't know what can they do, and no one can tell something because they are hiding. The
True.
case there is a public, then you have access to all the information.
Right.
But so uh and relating to the message, I really love how you express everything about hearing. Wow, it's so great uh, how this produces sounds, waves, and you can grasp, okay, everything. And for me, hearing is a choice, right? Because uh, and people, and this is so interesting, that you can hear something, three or four different people, and they can hear different things.
Right.
It is interesting, this. In the portion of Isaiah, it says on chapter 55, verse
Mhm.
2, that God is calling to us to listen, when he says, listen to me, and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare. Give ear and come to me, listen that you may live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, my faithful love promise to David. So uh, God is always inviting us to listen. Um, and also, uh, the, the, there is not really a blessing and a curse, because for me it's relative. Okay, it depends how you see. Okay, um, but when you hear the voice of God, you are under protection. And even though you have material blessings, I could say, because that's also a problem in this world, that they, all the blessings, they convert to money.
Right.
and, and um, it's not really about this. It's about to have shalom inside you,
Right.
shalom around you, shalom with God. And so thank you, Alejandro. I really love this message. And how you make a really brief resume, executive portion.
Oh, you got stuck. Yeah, just because a message is short doesn't mean it's not packed with. You got stuck, Mauricio. We didn't hear you. So, does anybody else have anything they want to add?
Really, yeah.
Yeah, you were stuck. We couldn't hear you, Mauricio. Just the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, because an income calling, and I'm connecting to my phone,
Oh,
because here
okay.
I have better connection. So
Oh,
there was
okay.
incoming call, and then I stuck.
Okay. Do you know what you said?
No, only that I said that I really love that how Alejandro made this beautiful message.
Yeah. Angel, you were going to say something?
Yes, was a really good message. Short, direct, and simple. You know. Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you, Alejandro. Was really nice. It's interesting uh, how we when we understand how the Creator create everything, and how there are certain laws, certain things. Let's call it instructions that as a part of His creation, we are in a free will to choose if we want to keep and follow. Now, uh, when you don't know these instructions, you don't have any idea how the creation of our Almighty Creator, works. Then it's really hard to tune and understand, or to hear, to listen. Now, when we have an understanding of how the Creator works, and how He set up some certain instructions in this entire universe, in this planet, in this, that they are rules, that they are call it rules, call it mishpatim, call it commandments, call it guide guides, teachings, and it's because, as you can see, uh, with in this parasha, it talks about the blessings and the curses, of being a blessing if you keep His commandments, and if you do what He's telling you to do. Remember that the Creator gave us free will. So now, these commandments, you can listen to them, but you can have always the option not to do it, to keep them, right? So now that tells us one thing. It tells us that no matter what we believe, what we think, that the Creator has set up this in His creation, certain it's a kind of a system where, if we keep and we follow, in other words, we are in synchronizing with this sound, with this frequency, with this resonance, and we are more we have more chances to live a life in fullness, with life, and fullness in love, and fullness in understanding, in knowledge. Now, there are consequences of not deciding not to live and not to follow and not to be in this setting of instructions and rules, and then we are then we will follow with the consequences. No, as most of them lead to death and to separation from understanding and knowledge of all this creation, all what the Creator made. You can see also, like, it's interesting that Mauricio just lost his water. I mean, his and how the meaning of water, we see in the scriptures that without water there was no life, and how related are the when we keep the commandments, it will bring us life, it will bring us abundance, it will bring us a life where we will live. Of course we will have some problems, that we will have to, but it's part of our way of growing, right? And evolving, and and understanding, and growing as an individual. But it shows us the importance of knowing, the importance of knowledge, the importance of understanding the reasons why. We don't keep commandments just because it tells us to keep. What is the purpose of keeping a commandment if you don't understand? You just do it repetitive, and you don't have any idea what it means. We keep it. We keep it because if someone tells you to do something and you don't have any understanding why, well, what is the purpose of keeping? So it's very important to as a person, we need all to grow, we need all to be responsible, we need all to search and for our Creator's understanding, and that will bring us closer to Him, more closer to Him. We will have more this relationship, where we will become also care about participants of His creation, and that is what makes us all one with Him, all one. And so it was a really beautiful message, and it's just resuming is just to say that life, love, and understanding and knowledge, which is light, it's one of the bases of the Creator's structure of His creation. Now, when we depart from keeping this in mind, then we're going to turn into what it's, we're going to produce other, or we're going to be, we're going to experience other things that they are not related with that, and that includes, suffering. That includes not having the mind of not having knowledge, and it could go into death also.
One of the things that I've noticed, if I want other people to listen to me, I need to listen to them. If I want my children to listen to me, I have to do that by example, is by listening and being obedient myself. And that's a process that takes time. Thank you again, Alejandro. I want to wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat. Have a good day. And Mauricio, may your water be restored very, very soon. May the government respond. I remember the times when Karen and Anja were going there digging their well because their well was going to run dry. And we really appreciate the water, especially after reading Isaiah 66 today, where God's judgment comes in fire. They call it global warming. We know it's God's judgment that's coming on this world. And So everybody have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, Alejandro's welcome home. And we're going to be talking very soon about the high holiday services. We'll have a short meeting to decide the times and who will speak for part of the high holidays. The Alvarados will be in Israel. And what a wonderful place to spend the high holidays. One day we will all be there in the Holy Land for our high holidays. That's his promise, even in Isaiah 66. And so, again, have a wonderful day. Let's keep each other in prayer. Let's keep listening to his voice, and hope to stay under his blessings. And may the curses bring us closer to him as well. So Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everybody.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.